How's it going, everybody? Doing a garage ramble here today. I might do a series on garage rambles. I did that. I think I rambled and I did a drink review, and people were liking it, liking the sounds and stuff. So the acoustics, the echo of the garage. So why not? I've done videos in here before, obviously, not just shady related videos. I've done a few drink reviews in the past in here, but anyway, rambling about whatever. This is going to be going up the day I'm filming it, which is Monday. This is going to be a 2-video day. I'll explain that. Stuff's happening. I tweeted. I didn't tweet, sorry. I have a Twitter, but I have not used it in a while. But I put a story on Instagram because I decided to watch some football yesterday. I watched the Aston Villa game. I'll talk about that actually real quickly. Spurs game, and they won that one. Obviously, I'll talk more about that. I'll talk about it a little bit here, but obviously you'll hear more about it in the recap. But I was like, oh, they're on TV again that I can watch. They're on the USA Network. A lot of their games were on Peacock, I believe, because I watched the first 3, and then I couldn't watch the next 4. I think that was our 8th game. But I watched that, and it was on USA Network, and I was like, and they gave up a goal in like 5 minutes in, and I was like, here we go. I was annoyed. They actually let up another goal, but it got called off because of offsides. But they ended up winning 2-1 on 2 nice goals. Rogers had one, right, I believe, and I don't know how to say the guy's name, but that was a nice goal. I think it was. I don't know how you say his name too. The one I think maybe he's not a defender. It's not Dinge, but it's spelled like that. It's not said like that. I think he set it up to Matty Cash, and then he got it to the guy. I forget his name, like something Incinda or something. But he made a move. It was a nice setup, really nice overall goal. The first goal was nice too. They actually won. Nice win for them because they have tough games coming up. They got to play Manchester City next, then Liverpool, then Bournemouth. So any win you can get there is nice. And they're moving up the standings. They're in like 10th or 11th. I think they're in 11th. They're safely out of the relegation at the bottom of the league. But that was cool to actually watch. I like the first goal. I legitimately got excited because that was the first goal I've gotten to see them score live. They've obviously scored since those first 3 games or whatever it was. But like, I was not watching. I was not able to watch those games. So to see them actually score a goal was nice. And then they scored 2. They were getting outplayed pretty badly at first. Like, you saw a difference in speed. The Tottenham team seemed quicker. And I've seen this in the other games I watched. They always seem like they're the slower team. But anyway, it was nice to see when they're playing much better. They've won 5 total games in all the competitions, but 3. They're a 3-game winning streak in the Premier League. I think the other 2 wins was at the Europa League. But that was cool. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to watch some football. I have not bothered watching football in a while. This was a mistake in a lot of ways, but also not. But so I was watching some of the because the football soccer game ended. It started at 9. It was over by whatever, like maybe a little after 11, before 11. I can't remember. I'm gonna watch some football, so I'm digging around watching some fucking. I think I watched some of the Panthers-Jets game. That boring as fuck. And I put this on my Instagram. I'm like, football's boring. I forgot how boring it was, and now there's no flow. And it's funny. I'll get into the first part of that with the boring in a few minutes. If you see my Instagram, you've seen the stories. There's no flow in football. There never fucking was, right? It's just stoppages, commercials constantly. Stop. And I'm not even talking about, I understand you run a play. They're not immediately doing another play unless it's a 2-minute drill, right? I understand that. But they do a play, and then there's a penalty, and the refs draw out. Do they always do this? I cannot remember. Because I have not watched football in a while. I'm like, do they draw out the penalties? I swear, this was in the later game, but it was like an illegal shift, and they had to like talk about it for 10 minutes. I'm like, figure it the fuck out, dude. Why? Like, what do you want to be on camera a little bit more? You tell your family, watch for me. I'm gonna fucking draw out a penalty for 5 minutes discussing it with people, the other refs. That happens constantly. Similar to soccer, football, the other football. These guys go to the ground, and you're like, oh, they must be hurt. No, they pop back up 2 seconds later or 2 minutes later. You'd think in the Aston Villa game, I was getting a little annoyed. And the one dude on Aston Villa, I thought he got shot in the leg. Somebody shot him because he was down in writhing pain, and then he's up jogging. I'm like, I can't deal with that shit because it ruins the flow of the game. Now, I understand it's got to be a strategic move. Take a dive and look for the ref. And it annoys me because it happened because I watched some of the Liverpool Manchester United game as well. And the first goal, but this actually was legitimately, the guy actually ended up hitting his head on Liverpool because Manchester United scored within like a minute and change. But three guys jumped up and the two Liverpool guys collided. The guy hit his head. So he was down and they were a man short. And a lot of people said they should have stopped that for the head injury, and they didn't. But these guys fall down in games and they're on the ground looking at the ref, clutching their leg, rolling around. And your team is now a man short. The refs don't give a shit. They're like, whatever, dude. We don't care. And they're freaking... Now they're a man down on half the field because you're rolling around hoping to get a guide of a stoppage or a yellow card or whatever. That annoys me. And you see it in football. So, but in football, a lot of the times guys are legitimately hurt. But teams will use it as a strategy. Mike Shanahan used to do this years ago. The guy falls on, they might have gotten rid of this. They must have. The guy falls on the ground because he stops the clock and the guy has to come out for a play. But it stops the clock. And people will do that later in games to rest their defense and shit. I think they got rid of that. But soccer / football. Football everywhere else but North America. Although, does Canada call it football too, or do they call it soccer? Does Mexico? Mexico has to call it football, right? I don't know. I don't know. If they all, whatever. But it flows much better. It's moving. Because the clock, I like is the clock still moves. They just add the injury time or whatever. But the clock's still moving. It's still annoying because it slows the game down, but the clock is still moving. Football, the clock stops. But there's a lot of the refs just drawing out penalties, timeouts, other bullshit, just random stoppages. It doesn't flow. It never did. I think it's much worse now. But like I said, I haven't watched in a while. But a lot of the games were boring. I went to the Eagles, Vikings game. I was bored. I'm like, this is boring. So I'm like, I'm going to watch the Denver game. They're playing the Giants. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to watch much of it, no matter how it goes, if they're losing or not. Part of me is like, I haven't watched the Denver game full in years. They'll probably get destroyed. And they were getting destroyed for 3 quarters. And I was getting bothered. Not pissed the way I would have gotten, when I was super into them. That went away a long time ago. That really started to go away when Denver got obliterated by the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, because I was like, why put yourself through it, right? And even when they won the Super Bowl against the Panthers, I watched it, and it was cool to see them win, but I did not have the excitement that I'd had when they won the Super Bowls in the 90s. Or even when they beat the Patriots in the playoffs with Plummer and other wins here and there. I was happy to see them win, but I was already kind of detaching myself. Distancing myself. So I watched, they're getting manhandled. Sean Payton, I don't give a fuck. And if you watch this game, you knew how the turnout, I'll talk about in a minute. I hate these coaches that come in and think they're the shit and they're living off the fucking past or what they did in the past. All this guy runs is check downs and screen passes. And I used to go to the Broncos Instagram and they're saying the same thing. I'm like, I'm watching, I'm seeing it live. They drop a lot of passes. Bo Nix gets a lot of his passes, and this is a thing apparently. He must throw low at the line of scrimmage and not high because so many of his passes get batted down. And they are undisciplined. I knew they were undisciplined. On defense, they had 4 encroachments in the first half because they're undisciplined. And then some of the penalties late were kind of bullshit. But still, they are undisciplined on defense, which is weird because you think a Sean Payton coach team would have more discipline. But, Anyway, they're down 19-0 at the end of the third quarter. I'm like, just score a touchdown. They do get to 19-8. And that was on a tip ball. Touchdown to Franklin in the end zone. And then the Giants get a tip ball touchdown. It bounced off of Robinson's hands into the tight end. And he scored a touchdown, 26-8, with like 6 minutes left. I'm like, my God. And then all of a sudden Denver wins 33-32. They start scoring like crazy. Dart throws a pick. A bad pick. The Giants are down 30-26. And I'm not even necessarily losing my shit about this either, that they're coming back. I'm just kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. And in my mind, I'm still like, if they happen to come back and win this, they're still not a threat to anybody, okay? And they still aren't. They're up, and then the Giants get the ball back, and then there's like 8 penalties on the Broncos. I think there was a roughing the passer. Oh, Peyton got a misconduct because he started yelling at the ref. He came on the field, I think. And then there was like kind of a pass interference call that was kind of iffy. They put him on the 1. They score. And then the Denver somehow they get downfield in like 10 seconds or 20-something seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it was. And they kick a field goal to win it. If you're a Giants fan, Jesus Christ, like, how do you even deal with this? But bad teams find a way to lose, right? I wouldn't even necessarily say Denver. They are not a bad team. They're not a threat. I feel like they're not a threat to anybody. Like, you don't play that way at home for 3 quarters. It's great that you get a win. An absolutely shocking win. And apparently the fans and the teams were going at it all week. Messed up stuff. Because Demaryius Thomas got put into the Bronco Hall of Fame and they scored 33 points. His number and stuff. Weird stuff maybe happening. And some people on Twitter are making messed up tweets about that. But hey, sports fans, this is what they do. That's part of the reason why sports kind of sucks, is the fans are half the problem. It's not just playful banter, sometimes getting a little bit nasty, but some of these people, and this goes for every team and every sports fan base, they have these people that go beyond the messed up stuff, right? But apparently, yes, everybody was going back. The teams, the players, the fans were going back and forth, and the Giants blow a 26-8 lead with like 5 and change left in the game, and that hadn't happened in like 1,602 consecutive games. So either way, though, Denver is not a threat in my opinion. Like, you can't rely on some talent in the fourth quarter and some luck. You can't rely on that shit. That's the first game I watched in years, right, for the Broncos. Still, the game has no flow. It was not boring in that fourth quarter when one team scored 33 points. I think the Giants popped 13. So it was 46 points scored in the fourth quarter. It wasn't boring, but overall, the game's still fucking boring. And the game has no flow. It has worse flow than baseball now, I feel. Hockey realistically has the best flow. Soccer, football. Soccer here, football everywhere else has a good flow as well. Basketball has a good flow until about the fourth quarter of a close game. In the last 5 minutes, it becomes a slog. It sucks. In a tight game in basketball, the final 3 minutes, 5 minutes of basketball game that's tight will take 45 minutes to an hour. It sucks. You understand why it's being done, but it sucks. Hockey does have the best flow, though. I'd say even better than soccer. Because in soccer, guys are falling down, boss, and it's not the game's moving, but the flow is being jammed up by guys falling down constantly. Like, they fall down in soccer constantly, and anybody who's obviously been watching any kind of football, soccer, obviously knows these guys are flopping all over the place. In basketball, they flop too. Sometimes it's legitimate, they're hurt, but it's like the boy who cried wolf. You're like, oh wait, he actually did bang his head, but I'm so used to guys just falling to the ground. And you see the replay, and you're like, okay, twisted ankle there. Then you see the replay, and you're like, oh my God, this guy wasn't even touched. Or he's barely like, guy goes like this to his shoulder. I think this happened in the Aston Villa game. Guy can go like this. And dude's like, oh. I can't stand that shit. It's just. But then you see other dudes, like in any other sport, other dudes go to the ground and they're right back up. Like, you could tell. I don't know if they're being taught this, whatever leagues they played in growing up, they're taught, hey, fall to the ground, try to get a stoppage or a call. And there's other guys that are coming from other places where they're like, no, you get the fuck up and you keep going unless you're legitimately hurt. Yeah. But anyway, that's enough sports. We're 15 minutes in. The reason I'm going 2 videos today is because it went up on my other channel too. I filmed the Xbox video with the PSP, the Genesis, and the 360 were all dead. I was excited as shit to make that video. I used to make those kind of videos on my old channel back in like 2009, 2010. It was fun. Of course, I put it up here. It didn't view. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. It does. There's a couple comments on it. Let's see what it's at as of 12/27. Yeah, 126 views, 3 comments, 18 likes. It's 3.5 hours in. It's viewing poorly. I honestly thought you guys would be up for it, but I have to understand. You guys, as my subscribers, the stuff you don't want to see. What are you gonna do? I did put it on my other channel. Going forward, any other videos I make with that are just gonna go up my other channel. I'm just gonna put them up because I still want to make them because I have fun making those videos. I did back then. You know what? They don't get viewed. I'll just put them on the other channel where I have lower sub down because it makes more sense to put them up there. Anyway, I figured I'd give it a shot on here. It didn't do well. What are you gonna do? So I put up a second video because the KFC video went nuts. So I want to keep that momentum, and then immediately don't want to cut my momentum down with a video that nobody watches. So on to the next one, which will be this one. What else? I watched this. Did I talk about this in another video? Maybe did I mention this KFC video? Maybe I didn't. R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead. This is a Tubi original. It wasn't that bad. Standard kind of R.L. Stein type stuff. I'm not geared towards people of my age, but I enjoy watching that shit. I'm like half paying attention to stuff. It's pretty good at downer of an ending. Like a half downer of an ending, you call it. I watched Hot Fuzz again the other day. That's my favorite of the 3. What is it? The Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then World's End. It's the more of the cop spoof one. It has one of the coolest kills. I won't spoil it if you've ever seen it. Well, I kind of will spoil it. Fuck it. I will spoil it. The guy knocks off a piece of I think a church, one of the peaks, the points, and it falls into a dude's head. It's It's a funny movie. That's good. I did cut the lawn the other day. Cut that out of the way, the main part of the front lawn. So I gotta get the bust out the. We get fire ant mounds. They'll come out of the rocks too, but the ones in the grass, I have stuff that I put down, gets rid of them. Some of them are. Sometimes the dormant ones because you touch it and nothing happens. Other ones you touch it and they spaz out. I'll go over them with the lawnmower. Sometimes I don't even see them, and they just start coming out. I'm like this because, okay, I am not having 50 to 100 fire ants bite the shit out of me. I did that. I got to get that out. There's 1 or 2 there, and the rest were dormant. I got to pull more weeds and stuff, too. I got some stuff, too. My sinuses are bothering me again. Right now, it's been going on for a couple days. This side of the nostril is kind of sore. I guess because I get clogged up sometimes overnight, and I'm trying to force out. I use hot water and stuff, free up the sinus, but to force out. Sometimes I go a little too hard with that. I think it made it sore here, but even the front of my head here and through the back there's pain here and here. It's annoying. It's not too bad right now. It gets a little worse as the day goes on. I'm trying to get more fresh air and stuff, keep the windows open and stuff, but I got some stuff I can take for it. If I want to, I'm trying to stay away from the Tylenol stuff with whatever you say that were ACIDs, whatever. My doctor said to stay away from that for reasons I don't feel like talking about now. It's do I take it or do I deal with it and then try to take the Advil sinus stuff? But then that ravaged my stomach. That's the reason I would take the Tylenol stuff, because it doesn't have the aspirin in it. So I'm just kind of dealing with it. That's not terrible right now, but it gets worse as the day goes on. I was going to film an eating lasagna video because I'm going to be making lasagna later. Well, we made lasagna. We had some left over, and it was in the freezer, so I took it out to reheat. I also didn't make it. She did. I do make some stuff. I'm going to probably film me. I'm going to make some turkey tacos again. I did it once. We'll do it again. I did film one of those a couple of months ago, I believe. Lasagna's going to be too much of a pain for me to eat. And I don't have a setup to where I can eat it on camera. I need to figure that out. People have talked about that in the past. I'm kind of going for soft-spoken whispering here, as I seemingly do a lot nowadays with videos. We'll see how it goes. But I probably will do the turkey tacos. And I might do another Uber thing, maybe like a Subway or something like that later this week, like a Thursday, Friday. I don't know. I still got to do some of the other stuff, gameplay. I'm going to do it out here, popcorn ramble about horror video games. I'll do that out here. Because someone was like, oh, you should do, because I was going to do a horror game ramble, because I seemingly do them every year anyway. And then someone's like, oh, you should eat popcorn with it. So I was like, all right, I can throw that in. And then somebody else was like, oh, you should film it in more of a place that's more fitting for a Halloween thing. The best I can do is the garage here. I could possibly, maybe I'll do it with this light off. And there's another light down here. It won't be as lit up, but it will add to it. So we'll see. I might film that later, depending on how I feel. As this comes back, I'm not in the mood to do any videos. I can feel it now, more so here. You have sinuses all over the place. It's I think maybe it's this time of year. The weather's starting to cool off and stuff. I don't know. Below 75 the other day. When I was cutting the lawn, I cut it before it peaked to 75. Today's supposed to be in the high 60s, I think. Got to take 2 watermelons we have growing off the vine soon. Those things I didn't realize when I talked about this post. We didn't realize they take a long time on the inside to ripen. So I'm going to probably take them off, let them sit before trying to cut them open. It's because we cut one open and it was just white on the inside. I'm like, that's not what they look like. I read up on it. We should have did that beforehand. But the gameplay, I haven't figured out a game yet. I was thinking maybe do another Hogwarts. You guys like those two I put up? And that is Halloween theme. Any kind of it's not Harry Potter. It's in the Harry Potter universe, but it's obviously before him, the game. But that kind of action could fit Christmas. It can fit Halloween. I don't know. I gotta figure one out. Obviously, it's the 20th. We're getting there, but we'll see. But I just want to ramble out here. I'm feeling it. I've had no energy drinks in a while. I'm laying off those two. I'm just a little amped up because I'm in the garage, maybe. I don't know. I get amped up. I get amped up talking about sports. And the reason why I was like, this is a problem watching these games, it just reinforced how much I don't really want to give a shit about football. And I'm like, if I keep watching football, I'm not going to want to do the recaps. It was cool to see Denver come back and stuff, but I was getting bothered. I wasn't getting overly pissed, just kind of bothered. Yep, this is what you get for bother. Watch it. I don't want to care. I want to continue to distance myself and not give enough of a shit. I would never fully get dragged back into committed to that because I wouldn't care. I am going to start watching Island games though. They have a game tomorrow. They're 2-3 right now. They've won 2 in a row. They looked like shit their first 3 games, but they've played better since. And then rookie Schaefer, the defenseman, has been excellent. He's got 5 points in 5 games, so that's good. But they're playing, I think, San Jose in a couple of days and the Red Wings. I might check those games out. I want to see if I can check out Portland, too. They start tomorrow, I think. The season starts tonight, but they are tomorrow. There's only 2 games tonight. I think it's the Rockets and the Thunder and the Warriors and the Lakers. I think a bunch of teams play tomorrow, so I want to see how I can maybe access some of these Portland games. Game 7 is tonight. The Blue Jays beat the Mariners in Game 6. Game 7's tonight, so the Dodgers are waiting to see if they can play. I think whoever they play, I think that's going to be a good series. I think it's going to be better than that one last year. the Dodgers and the Yankees. I think it's gonna be better. Not that there were some good moments in the Yankees Dodgers series, but it's just great. We'll see. Because both the Mariners and the Blue Jays have some pop in their lineup, so there might be, and the Dodgers do as well, obviously. So there'll be hopefully some big runs. Was there another eating video I was going to do? I mentioned turkey tacos. There's something else. I got a ham steak I got to cook up too, but I'm not going to do an eating video of that. Put some pineapples on top. Maybe some beans. Like I said, I might do another Uber video, though. Maybe a Subway, maybe even a Firehouse Subs, actually, because they're better than Subway. I tend to like to order Uber stuff from the closer places. Subway's the closest of all, any kind of fast food type stuff. Subway's the closest to here. Well, I'd say not quite a bit of it, but it's probably like another maybe 2-3 minute drive down the road to get to like the Bojangles, the Taco Bell, the Arby's, the Wendy's are all right next to each other. And that Dario and Dixie Express is another one right there. Is there another place there too? But Firehouse Sub is down by the Chick-fil-A and the Walmart and stuff and Little Caesars, which is much further down. But for me, I like to tip Uber. If I get a regular Uber ride or Uber Eats, I like to tip pretty well. At least I think it is. So, and I feel like I read somewhere like, oh, you usually tip like $1 each mile they go. So I'm like, that's further out. I'm gonna have to tip more unless I get a Firehouse Sub's gonna be more expensive though. So I might not actually go that route. I go something that's a little cheaper, and then I'll give a bigger tip. You should see my thought process on things like I don't want to go over $25. So I didn't end up using the 40% off because it's only for select places, and I'm like, it's gonna end up you had to go to $25 first before it kicked in, and I'm like, it's gonna end up being like the same price as what I get for something. So I ended up getting the KFC, which wasn't on it. Yeah, I'll probably do it. Who knows? I don't know. I was looking at something on eBay. I can't remember what the fuck it was. What the hell was I forget what I was talking about. Let's just make some noises here. Hand motions. Wow. Hand motions from all the way back here. Whoa. Maybe I'll do something like that. That'd be kind of an interesting thing to do with limited light in here. Maybe come out of nowhere with the hand motions and then watch the video, not view anyway. So, what was I looking at? I was looking at Super Famicom games again. I'm trying to get back into video games, and I just don't care. I just do not care. I'm more interested in more of the retro stuff. The newer stuff is just really like, there's cool stuff, and I want to continue Sound of Life maybe later today, but I'm just not feeling it. I don't even know why. I still gotta beat Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and I was enjoying the hell out of that game, and I just turned it off. I think we were going somewhere, so I didn't have time to play it, finish it, and then I was just like, I don't care. I need to turn these systems on from time to time to see if anybody's letting me friend requests. Because I'll go on the PS5 and be like, oh shit, there's 3 requests that are sitting there for 2 weeks. My fiance, Little Nightmares 3, when she gets back from New York, she'll enjoy that. I need to check those games out. We had the first one downloaded on the Xbox One. Second one, we have a disc for Xbox One. I played some of the first, and it was cool. It was creepy. Had a nice look to it. With me with games, I'm not playing. I'm done. My stomach just made some crazy noise. That's because it wants to eat. I haven't eaten anything today. I don't know why. I just didn't feel like it. Anybody get like that? Like there's some mornings, this has been like this for years for me. It's like I feel like eating breakfast and then I wait and get hungry and eat at lunch. I do that sometimes. So my eating pattern is weird. Like she has like strict eating patterns where she needs to eat at like specific times because she starts to like feel it. Me, I'm like I can go for a while before I start to feel it. Wind's blowing leaves around outside. What's that noise? I gotta pull the rest of the plants up. There we have. I did get some more peppers off that thing that's still going. There's some tomatoes, but they're kind of done. So I'm pull those out of the pots, chuck them in the woods, let them rot. That's the beauty about having the woods up there and a section of woods down there is that I can take some of this yard waste and throw it in the woods and let's just let it decompose out there like leaves. Like I'll blow a lot of the leaves into the woods. Because, I mean, you get lucky, a lot of the leaves from the trees just fall down to the woods anyway. But you're hearing this stuff. You know, you get some, pull some weeds out, I'll throw them. Some I'll throw out and others I'll throw right into the woods. Just let them rot in the woods, become part of the earth. I gotta cut the 2 hydrangea trees. That's a pain. I did that last year. That's a bit time consuming. I don't mind doing it. It's just a bit time consuming because you gotta cut it. And then it will grow back nice. It's like crazy. You cut these things down and they're just like, whoosh, the next year they regrow out of the new spots and stuff. They're really nice looking. Now I could probably start cutting them now. I'll probably wait though. But when those things like hit their bloom, like there's all types of like bees, yellow jackets, all types of bugs going in there hanging out on the flowers and stuff. The birds are starting to kind of do their thing now. They're going away. The hummingbirds are gone until next season. So we took their feeders down. The birds are not going through the food nearly as much. We had squirrels on there that were just, we had to bring the bird feeder in at night because you'd have that thing filled. You'd come out the next morning, it was like 3/4 gone. Because you'd see the squirrels get up on this thing and they would just climb on it. And these things go to town, man. They're getting fat down here because they're smaller overall, the squirrels than in New York. They're getting fatter down here. But then they disappeared. And now I saw one on the back deck yesterday. So I don't know if they were going into whatever they were doing, collecting the acorns or whatever they're collecting because those are falling everywhere. Or whatever. But I was like, oh, I've heard some stuff about what happens to squirrels down here too. I'm not going to look at that. It's kind of messed up. But, and I saw one the other day too, crossing the street. I haven't seen the deer in a bit. The deer were on the front lawn not too long ago, briefly. You'll see them. They pop out of the woods. Across the streets, they'll pop out of the woods. They'll go through the backyard. They have nice sections of woods here that hang out. Maybe I'll go along on this. It's around 34 minutes now. I need to start listening to anybody. I don't think I mentioned this. Did I mention this in the video? When I went to the doctor the last time, I went to the mall again afterwards. And walked over to the mall. It was nice to get some steps in, like an actual walk. And this town is very hilly. It's like hills and valleys stuff. So you feel it a little more, which is nice. And Long Island is very just, the North Shore of Long Island is more hilly. The South Shore is more flat. Went to this place. I think it's called Ross. But this place is like a Marshall's kind of. So they have all types of toys and the clothes and other things in there. Pet supply stuff and other things. And I saw these. I have a few of them. I did it. I think I might have did a video on them in Florida. These Micro Squadron Star Wars Micro Galaxy, whatever Micro Squadron Star Wars Galaxy, whatever it's called. And I saw two there. They were $4 each. No, were they less than that? Yes, they were $4 each. But it was a bigger one. I got the ones in the blind boxes. This is a big one. You see what it is. But it's Obi-Wan, Luke, and the land speeder from, I love that vehicle. I think it's just the land speeder. It's in the New Hope. But they had that one. I'm like, $4. It says it's normally 12, but it's 4. I'm like, let me look this up real quick on eBay. I think it sounds like $30. I'm like, I'm going to grab two of them. Maybe I'll sell one and I'll keep one. I like those little things. They're cool. But I was like, oh, nice. They had like two more. I probably should grab those two, but maybe they'll probably be gone. But they have random pop figures and other random toys. They're literally scattered about. It's not really organized. It's like a Big Lots kind of too, but not as foodie as Big Lots. They have a lot of snacks here. I think it's Ross. Dress for Less, is it? And I went to Five Below again. But I go back to the doctor on Election Day, actually, the 4th of November. So maybe I'll head over there again, or I will decide to go into town this time. I don't know. I was thinking about going into town the last time, but they were paving over there, I think, and it was looking clogged up there. And I was like looking. I was like, maybe not. So the other way, they should be done by then, I would think. They're probably done by now. They have to be. Unless they drag it out, which a lot of places do, right? They drag this shit out. Road work and stuff, they drag it out. But I was thinking about doing the Premier League recaps and the NFL recaps and putting them up on the same day together. I don't know if I'm going to do that going forward. I'll see how. The last two Premier League videos viewed poorly. So I have to put up another video with those. The NFL recaps are starting to drop as well. So I'm like, maybe I'll just put them both together. Have them have the recap day. But I think moving forward, I'm going to be leaning into the videos that view better a lot more to really maximize things. And when I do a low viewing video, I have to throw up something else. It's all about momentum. And when because I've been having a little bit of a weaker month, KFC goes up, boom. You go up like 1,500 views in a day, and then I put up a video that doesn't view, and then I drop back down. It's a constant fight. If anybody makes videos, you know this. If you put up videos as much as I do, you'll see this shit more often. The flows, the ebbs and flows, or the ups and downs. I apologize if anybody gets motion sick. I'm moving around a lot. I naturally move a lot. Like I rock a lot. Like if I'm sitting, I'll start rocking. I've been doing this for years. My whole life, actually. I remember it used to give me a jump because I would rock like this back and forth. In Little League, I'd be in the outfield, and I'd get a jump on the ball if it was going either way, the opposite direction. I'd be like, I'm already moving, and all of a sudden I see which way I'm going. I'm like mid-rock, like, I used to love playing the outfield. When I played baseball, it was awesome. I used to run around. I'd throw my body all over. I'd be diving all over the place and shit, running into other outfielders. Because I talked about this, I think, too, at some point. I used to have a problem. Sometimes I would call it. Other times I just would be so focused on getting it. And one time I collided with the other. They didn't call it either, though. I don't think they did. I was in center and I collided with the, would have been the left fielder. No, it was a right fielder. Now, at center field, you pretty much have authority over it all. No, but usually get what would the word be? Priority over it. But if I didn't call it, you're not going to know that. Most of the time I would. There were times I wouldn't, though. Because I could cover a lot of ground back then. I would be getting, I'd be getting almost to the beginning of the outfield sometimes. Because I'd be getting there quicker than the shortstop. If I was in center field, the same thing. I was just like, I was very good when the ball went off the bat. If it was coming anywhere in my direction, I was very good at reading it immediately. But yeah, days of the Coast Little League, and then when did I play till? I think I talked about it. It's 8th or 9th grade was my last year. I can't remember what one. What else has been happening? It's a nice day out today. It's clear skies. If it stays clear, maybe I'll bust the telescope out tonight. I haven't busted out in a while. What can you do? 40 minutes. I'm trying to stretch it out a little longer. Sit there, think. Wheels turning. What do I want to talk about? I gotta bust the. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna talk about that. It ruins the illusion. I do have to get in the crawl space one of these days and check the salt levels. I might have to put some more salt in there. In the thing we have, the filtration type system. You gotta fill it periodically, but the more water you use, the faster it will go down. We have like 6 bags in the shed of each. There's 2 different ones. You gotta blend them in together to get the best results. That's where all the spiders hang out in the crawl space. They're fucking everywhere. And that area too, where the thing is, where you gotta pull the thing off, they all hang out over there. It's gotta be good eats down there for the other bugs that are in there. I remember when we had the AC unit looked at, and it's in the crawl space. And we're in, the guys in there, and it's a little more, you can't stand up, but you can kind of just sit or squat down there fine in that spot where it kind of is. And then it gets tighter as you go further back. Because we wanted to see what he was doing, if we could just do it ourselves. And we're like, we even said, you mind? He's like, oh, I don't give a shit. We're talking and stuff. And I was like, man, it's got to be a pain to come into some of these crawl spaces. They're tight. He's like, this is like a mansion compared to some. And I've seen videos where they have to like get down on like a roller thing. It's like this. It's like that much space. Especially if you're sealing these off and stuff, because a lot of people do that. They put like a plastic down so they can seal it to help with water or whatever. It's just like, holy shit. You gotta not be claustrophobic to do something. Even in ours, like when I go to clean out the part of the pipe for the dryer, it's tighter, but it's still not bad. I can just sit down and do things. But you go a little further back and it's even tighter, but it's never like that. But yeah, plenty more vids to come as always. I will probably eat some peanut butter sandwiches after this for lunch. Do my lasagna later for dinner. I think I said we're going to another Lindsey Sterling concert, a Christmas show at the end of November in Durham. I think it's in Durham, Raleigh, Durham. I think it's in Durham though. That should be fun. Then we go to Florida for Christmas, see my mom and aunt. First time I would have seen my mom on Christmas in 30 years, maybe? No. Definitely 90. Wait, no. No, it's been, because I would have seen, her and my stepdad moved upstate in 98, and I still saw them for a few, so maybe like since 05, probably about 20 years. So that'd be cool. And we're renting a van, bringing it down there, and we're gathering up stuff. I've talked about this. We're taking a pressure wash, because my mom has a ton of stuff. Obviously, my stepdad died. You would have known this back in 21 if you were watching back then. But he has a ton of stuff. My mom can't use it. Mom uses a friggin' walker and stuff. Her knees are done. She's had multiple knee replacements on both knees. So she's not getting up on ladders and using pressure washers and shit. So I want to take an hedge trimmer. That's why I haven't bought one here. So these bushes keep getting taller. I'm like, I'm not buying one. Pressure washer, a bunch of tools, and some other stuff as well. It's got a lot of stuff. I gotta grab the rest of the coins too while I'm down there. But it'd be good to get down there. We're gonna go to Bok Tower. I want to see how. I've talked about Bok Tower. I love it. It's one of my favorite places to go. If not my favorite, I love going there. It's so peaceful and nice. You got the Singing Tower, which is the Bok Tower. And then they also have, we went to the mansion. There's like a little mansion there the guy lived in, I guess, his family. We went in there once, just a little tour of it. But it's all other types of gardens, the gardens too, and stuff. You get all nice growth and shit. It's really nice. And when you go out from the one part of the tower, you walk out, you could actually see a lot of the orange groves out in the distance and stuff. It's like it might be the highest point in the state. And it's not that high. But for that state, it is. Somebody's taking. A lot of planes were going off the other day from the airport, private planes. Sometimes it's nice sitting out there because as the leaves come off the trees, you can see them taking off, like part of the, as they're going up higher. It's kind of nice. I don't know. I like it. It reminds me of that movie. Have you ever seen it? Night Flyer. It's based off a Stephen King short story. The guy's like a vampire, and he flies his prop plane to like small airports in the middle of the night and kills people and takes their blood. But yeah, what time is it now? I want to get this. Yeah, it's like 1. I gotta always take into account how long it takes to upload a video because I want it to go up at a certain time. It's not like New York where I was like, 50-minute video. It's going to upload in 20 minutes. Here, hour and a half. Florida, though, I think I mentioned this too when I was uploading videos when I was down there a couple months ago. My aunt got different internet. And I was like, I wonder how slow it's going to be. This internet was like, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I'll film a couple videos when I'm down there too. I'm going to probably have some scheduled already, but I am going to film some down there. I always do. I like filming down there. It's nice. Maybe find some fresh drinks or maybe get another thing of cards or something. I don't know. I'll probably bring my Transformers that I have down there back as well. But I said that's gonna be nice. Like I said, Bok Tower. That's what I want to see what Bok Tower looks like when they have it set up for the Christmas season. And we'll see what that looks like. Go to Old Cherry Pocket, the restaurant. It's been a while. Well, no, like a year and change. I love that place. It's awesome. Cherry Pocket's awesome. And there's a sizzling grill that's in Lake Wales as well. It's really nice. But yeah, more videos to come as always, and there's a shady video I want to do, but like I said with some of the shady videos, I need to be fully invested in wanting to make the video that day because it will not come out the way I want it to. I gotta get on a treadmill later as well. It's nice right now. This time of year is great because the weather's cooling off. I can get out here, get on a treadmill, and not start sweating like crazy. We do have a fan back here, but when it's like summertime, like it's like 10 minutes in, you're like, at least me, it's like, and I'll go. I wasn't on the treadmill for a bunch, so I have to get my down and back because I was going like 2 hours on the thing. Now I go like 45 minutes. I gotta get that up further. It's still not the same as walking the streets and stuff and the trails and shit like that, which sucks, but it's still better than nothing. But yeah, if you did happen to watch the that video with the Xbox and the little horror type video that it was, I will most likely do another one on my other channel if you're subbed to that channel. If not, it's buried under cliches. Go over there. You don't have to sub to it or not, but if you see another videos up, check it out. Yeah. Because I had a lot of fun making that. It brought me back to that time of 2009, 2010, making YouTube videos. It was fun. It was like, yeah, I remember making these. That's why I'm like, I need to keep doing it with this one. The first time I did it was with the GameCube. I no longer have a GameCube, so if I did, I would be tying it into those videos, but I don't. But anyway, at 15 minutes here, I think it's definitely a long ramble. But in the garage, you guys like the garage? The acoustics, let me know if you like it. Let me know. More of you, let me know, because I'll film more rambles out here. I have no problem doing it. I actually like hanging out in the garage for whatever reason. Even like the first time I came down here before we officially moved down here in April, I think I filmed a video or two down here when we're down here. I just like that. Like, there's something peaceful and calming about the garage. I don't know. But anyway, long ramble, gum chewing ramble here. Sports at the beginning. If you get past that for 15 minutes, you're gonna hear more regular stuff. And yeah.